Hello, everybody. Welcome to WrestlePab Aim Fire, the Kick-Ass Revenue Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Adam. I read that directly off Joel's YouTube search. And today we have with us Chad. What word do you misspell commonly, Michael Ennis?
One that I can tell you that I just now misspelled every single time I tried to spell it was McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey. And then I had to just use dictation to spell it for me.
That's fair enough. And we also have with us Joel. I'm busting your balls about misspelling Respawn, Campos.
I have an excuse. I've been one highly drugged individual the last 6 days, so all good. I'm here. If you couldn't tell by this here, well, I guess you can't see it because I'm not sharing my screen. But if I were sharing my screen like I am now, you can tell by this here thumbnail of me in a hospital bed. So there you have it. I'm healed.
Nice. That's definitely got that bitch I lived energy. What's up, Chad? What's so funny?
I was about to do something that I'm not sure is a universally known or thing. Did you? No, of course you don't fucking know what Apple Auto Sales is because you didn't grow up in the same place. It's not even worth it. I have to explain it now. There's a local used car sales company in North Carolina called Apple Auto Sales. And they had there's like a spokesperson or a salesman guy that they had in all their advertisements was Reverend Rob. And Reverend Rob would come and heal your bad credit. And so people would come and be like, "Oh, Reverend Rob, my credit's so bad, there's no way I'll ever be able to afford a car." And he goes, "And I will heal your bad credit." And he just like palms their forehead and knocks them over. And I can't remember. Oh, you said I'm healed, and I was about to go heal your bad credit, but you wouldn't have gotten the reference.
You see, so. I'm healed, but I'm also not healed because you guys are not allowed to make me laugh too much. Like that's the one thing is if I laugh too much, it hurts a lot. And Chad learned this firsthand when I almost died the other night playing Arc Raiders. Like actually, I had to leave the room. It took me like 5 minutes just to get to the living room. Elise came running because she heard I was like crying in pain. Oh man, I'll tell you what, just as long as Wendy's doesn't inflate their dynamic pricing anymore, we'll be good.
It was all Wendy's fault, honestly, that you almost died on your floor.
That's insane. Catch us live on twitch.tv/Respawn Aim Fire Monday evenings at 8:30. YouTube and podcast services Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Some housekeeping. Our barf game, that's backlog accomplishments with Respawn and friends. Game for March is Tunic. That's where we play a game in the backlog and talk about it. We're going to be playing Tunic. So feel free to play along with us and let us know your thoughts. Or jump on the podcast. Patreon Early Access episode for March is still upcoming. We will record it soon, I think. Did we decide on doing the thing where you talk over the other thing?
Yes. Well, I should put that out there as something we got to schedule in the next week. And
okay.
And so Joel smiled a little bit when I made the joke about it.
We will bring back our classic movie commentaries. We did one for Elf Bowling. Takes a trip to Tahiti. We did one about Elf Bowling for Monster Hunter, the Mila Djokovic vehicle, and we'll be doing another one. That'll be a Patreon. That'll be up as soon as we get it done. Also, if you're at PAX East, I am hosting a panel on Thursday evening. It is Game Pretty live at PAX East. So come out Thursday evening. I think it's Condor Theater 9 to 10. And then also Saturday, video game trivia with Jacob McCourt. I will be guesting on a panel and competing in trivia. So if you're at PAX East, there's two things to come out and see. Moving on to our main quest. Next Gen Xbox confirmed. It's from Ryan McCaffrey at IGN.com. Again, we were gone for a couple of weeks and some stuff happened. There's a new CEO at Xbox. New Microsoft Gaming CEO Ashish Sharma, who took over as the head of Xbox Business last week. As longtime Xbox boss Phil Spencer retired, has confirmed the codename for Xbox next generation console, Project Helix, and also confirmed the long swirling rumors that the device will play Xbox as well as PC games. This is a quote now from Sharma. Great start to the morning with Team Xbox, where we talked about our commitment to the return of Xbox, including Project Helix, the code name for our next generation console. Project Helix will lead in performance of player Xbox and PC games. Looking forward to chatting more about this with partners and studios at my first GDC next week. So there it is. There was rumors. They talked about it forever. Again, when Sarah Bond was still there, she was talking about next gen stuff, but it has been officially confirmed from the new head of Microsoft Gaming that the next console is a PC hybrid. Talk about it while I eat my bacon.
Is it just strips of bacon?
I think this it's just raw bacon because he just moved and he also forgot to set up the gas. So the whole Xbox playing Steam things, I feel like this is something that has been like rumored for like over 10 years now, right? Like I feel like when the Xbox One got announced, people were thinking, because it was right around when the Steam machine came out, you know, around that same era, people were thinking Xbox was going to go that route because of the whole, you know, Microsoft Windows Xbox thing, because they announced that the Xbox One was running, I believe at the time, a version of Windows 8. I could be wrong. And that was the whole thing that people sparked, like, oh, maybe, you know, Steam games are going to come to Xbox in the future. I think that this is just like a natural evolution at this point, considering Xbox is doing the whole this is an Xbox thing everywhere. Like, why not just release a fucking PC that you can play, you know, your backwards compatible Xbox games on, right? Your Xbox One, Xbox 360 games on, and just have it be a PC. I mean, like, the ROG Xbox Ally X, I'm sure did not do great, but that's kind of what this box is going to end up being, but for your TV, is my guess. And I think it just makes sense. The Steam machine, a lot of buzz around that. Everybody's excited for the Steam machine. They updated the store page the other day to coming soon, and the fucking internet went crazy because people thought like, oh, I'm going to pre-order this thing tomorrow. And it's like, no, they just said coming soon. Who the fuck knows what that means? Nobody, but whoever is the head of Steam knows that, right? That being said, I don't know. Like, I'm a big Xbox fan. I have a PC that's high end that can play everything. I have an Xbox Series X. I don't necessarily feel the need to buy a box that is going to be, you know, $1,000+ to plug into my TV to play, just because it's Xbox branded, right? That doesn't mean that somewhere, you know, 5-10 years down the line, I'm not going to want something like that, because it is nice being able to play my Xbox in my living room when I want to play over there. But for the time being, I think my Xbox and PC do just fine.
Chad, what are your thoughts?
There's a very subtle difference between an Xbox that plays PC games and a PC that plays Xbox games, and it all comes down, I think, to the OS. And I think that's really, we've been speculating about handheld markets being like the ROG Xbox Ally X. Yeah, that's what, yeah. Speculating about that being like the first thing to solve the OS problem, and it didn't really. Like, there's that Xbox mode, but it still has those PC quirks and idiosyncrasies and that kind of stuff. And so I think if they release something, a console, especially with Asha talking about how a return to Xbox, a return to like their fan base in all of these traditional ways, I think it has to be a box that has a really slick, simplified, easy to use UI that also happens to bleed over into Steam somehow. Or at the very least, Xbox PC game, or yeah, Microsoft published PC games in their Xbox store. How does that work? Do they have a Microsoft? They have a Microsoft store.
Yeah, there's just an Xbox
launcher, right? Yeah,
app that's on Windows. Yeah.
So that's something they've been building towards for a while, right? Because all first-party Xbox games, as far as I know, like, you can buy it on Xbox PC or Xbox, and it's typically, I think the Xbox first-party ones specifically are Xbox cross-buy, meaning if you buy it on Xbox, you own it on Xbox PC app. So, like, for instance, that's why I bought Arc Raiders there, because I have the ROG Xbox Ally X, and I wanted to be able to play both. So I was like, okay, instead of buying it on Steam to play on my PC, I'll just buy it on, you know, my Xbox, and I can play it on my Xbox PC app. And they are kind of working towards it, right, with the ROG Xbox Ally X. I think that's really the test dummy for them to get into that PC kind of Windows-based operating system to kind of do all in one. Obviously, it's not perfect, but I think that it's a great step in the right direction in terms of getting an OS that can play Xbox games and can play your Steam library, your EA app library, your Epic Games launcher library. The only hiccup I can see at this point is the backwards compatibility aspect. Because, yeah, all this stuff is going to work from now going forward. It's about the backwards stuff, right? Like, if I want to play Halo 5 Guardians, that game's not even out on PC. So I can't, like, buy it on Steam. I can't buy it on the Xbox app to play on PC. How are they going to make it so that I can, you know, whether it has a disk drive or not, right? Say, put my disk drive in or download my digital owned copy of Halo 5 Guardians. How are they going to make it so I can play that? And I'm just talking about like one generation back, right? It's a whole separate ballgame when you're talking about like playing Fable Anniversary, you know, an OG Xbox game, you know, Fusion Frenzy, like anything super old school. It would really be a shame to see them kind of walk away from the whole backwards compatibility aspect of Xbox, because that was a huge, huge selling point for, you know, like the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X and S consoles when they first came out.
I think that's a huge reason why GDC specifically is why they're dropping this news, is because they'll have to talk about how this is developing for this is different than developing traditionally like you have for Xbox in the past. And I think, you know, previously you would have a game, and if you want it to come out on Xbox and PC, you develop an Xbox version, you develop a PC version, and even if it's Play Anywhere or whatever it is, you're still just unlocking technically the other version of the game to play. But this new one, I feel like, is going to be, you don't have an Xbox version of the game, you develop a PC version and it's playable on your Xbox, which is, like you said, going to be a little bit of a translation problem for things that were developed previously for Xbox that might not run on PC. And we saw like several years with the PS4 generation and the Xbox 3 or Xbox One generation that moved to the x86 architecture so that it would be easier to develop cross-platform like that rather than the proprietary stuff we'd been using before. But I think with this now, x86 was a great step at the time, but there are so many other things to consider nowadays, like the ARM chips that are in all of these handheld consoles, like and even just, you know, desktop PCs now having that ARM architecture instead of x86. It's like, I think this week is where they're going to be making those revelations to developers of, this is what it's going to be like to develop on Project Helix. This is how you're going to get your games up and running on it. This is how you might deal with porting something that was only available on, what is this generation? Series X. That might only be available on Series X, to make sure that it runs well or is able to be translated to this new architecture or whatever it is that they're rolling out for this console. So I think we'll find out a lot more about that particular thing in the next week.
Yeah, I mean, I pulled up an article to find out, because I know GDC's this week, and I saw a tweet earlier that Xbox set up a whole booth that is like celebrating 25 years of Xbox, and it has like all the consoles and like, you know, the prototype consoles kind of on display. Jason Ronald, Xbox's VP of Next Generation, is set to take the stage Wednesday, March 11th to discuss Xbox's 25 years and what comes next. So I don't think they're going to like show a box or anything of that extreme, but I do think that they're going to kind of just outline like, hey, this is what we're planning to do, because they are behind, right? Like, they fucking lost to the next Playground on Black Friday, right? Like, they need to get ahead of this so that they can get people to give them some sort of feedback on what they think they should do to like future proof whatever this is going to be.
Well, the first thing I think is that obviously none of this probably comes out for 2 or 3 years, because we are not in a place to be making high-end consumer electronics if we don't have to, with all the RAM stuff. But again, plans change and things can move around and whatever. Again, it seems that she's very committed to, we need to like be good in the console space again. And then I just look at this sentence. Again, it could change. Who fucking knows? Project Helix will lead in performance and play your Xbox and PC games. I don't think it's going to be oh, this is a PC, and then I think it will run the Xbox OS. Everything that has ran on an Xbox before will play on this device because it is an Xbox, and then it also allows you to download your Steam library or your Xbox. I think it will be console first, and then we can also dual boot or whatever it is to doing the PC stuff. I do not think it's only a PC and then fuck you the Xbox. I don't think that. I think it's an Xbox first and PC stuff as well. But the fact that they pointed out.
Do you think with the return to Xbox as the brand and like the rumors of potentially going back to first party exclusive stuff, do you think PC in this instance means Microsoft PC games, or does it mean Steam and Epic Games?
I think it means everything, similar to what the Xbox ROG whatever the fuck it's called, you know, the handheld.
ROG Xbox Ally X.
Yeah, I own it and I don't even know the fucking name of it. Yeah, similar to what that does is what I think they're getting at to what this box would do. It would be really dumb of them to say like, oh no, it's Xbox PC app only. Because first of all, if it's running an Xbox PC app, people are going to jailbreak that thing immediately so that they can download their Steam games. And second off, like, how dumb would you be to do that in the market where everybody's so horny for this Steam machine and we don't even know how much it's going to cost, and that thing's going to sell out before you even see it goes live.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Joel. I think it is an Xbox that you can hit a button and it will pull up a desktop and you can do your other shit through it. But I think it is an Xbox for, like, Chet, it'll be the OS that you're used to. It'll make sense for the dummies out there, and for the people who understand how to take a 3-step process will be able to play their Steam games.
I mean, we'll see. Who fucking keyboard knows? And a fucking mouse with a trackball on it, and
and a foot pedal, and a foot pedal,
and a foot pedal,
and a cockpit for your whatever. I mean, you can do that now. You can hook up mice and keyboards to consoles now, so I don't think it's out of the realm for the people who want to do it, obviously. But it'll just be nice to be like, oh hey, you know, Repo is only on Steam. But, you know, it has controller support, so that'll be nice just to play it on my TV. Like, for that shit, it'll be great. So, we'll have to see. Again, this will be 3 years from now, and who knows? It'll be either $600 or $6,000. Who fucking has any idea? All right, very good. Moving on to Playtime. Talking about Playtime. Chad, you have names of people, so I got to know what this is.
I do have names of people. I mentioned last time, the first name up here is Dad. I mentioned last time that I'm playing my Leaf Green playthrough, and one of the characters, or Pokemon, not necessarily characters, but one of the Pokemon that I'm putting in my party is Mr. Mime. And I grabbed that motherfucker, traded my Abra for it, and this guy fucking slaps. Why have we never played as Mr. Mime before? He is so strong. His special attack, and special defense stats are super high. He's fantastic. So yeah, Mr. Mime, aka rumored to be maybe Ash's dad, is he's fucking great. And I also just realized like there is zero way to have a Mr. Mime that's not nicknamed in the entire first generation of games. Because you can only obtain Mr. Mime through a trade with an in-game NPC, and they always give them stupid nicknames. So like mine is named Mimian, and you can't change their name ever. Even at the name rater, you can't even change their name. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to say Mr. Mime fucking slaps. So
can I jump in?
Yeah. Oh yeah, go Joel, you go for
it. So I've been gone, but I was in Vegas and I bought, obviously, as any human being with a Nintendo Switch 2 did, I bought Fire Red and I started playing it. And first of all, it's my first time playing Fire Red or Leaf Green, and it looks amazing. Sorry, I just got very distracted. I just got a loud message in my headphones. Like, what the fuck was that? Turns out people use Facebook Messenger still. Somebody just sent me a message, and for whatever reason, I got a fucking notification. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, so I downloaded it, started playing it, and we went to the Flamingo Hotel in Vegas. Who the fuck is messaging me on Facebook, and why am I getting these notifications? Yeah, so I started playing at the Flamingo Pool. Chad saw a picture. I sent it to the secret Discord. And when we were there, I was like, you know what? I'm going to grind and get this Pikachu, right? Because there's only one area you can catch it. I was like, I want to catch it early and level that bitch up. And I caught a Pikachu, nicknamed it. First ever time I nicknamed a Pokemon. First ever.
What'd you call it?
Flamingo. It felt fitting. So I have Flamingo the Pikachu, and he's a main in my party. So very, very excited about that. But yeah, it's a good game. It's a grind, though. I will say, if compared to the new games, it's a fucking grind.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I just looked up? So here's the thing. I never played Fire Red or Leaf Green because I never played Red or Blue. I was only a Yellow kid. So I just had the best version of those original generation. And yet, even in Yellow, you have to trade for Mr. Mime. I assumed that you could maybe catch him, but no, you got to trade a Clefairy in the Yellow version to get...
there's several Pokemon you can only get by trade. Like Jinx is another one you can only get via trade.
Yeah. I did not
And,
remember
and
that.
you'll
as
never
good.
play Fire Red because you don't have a Switch 2, and that's the only way to play it.
Well, yeah, there's no other way to possibly play it. A wink, a wink.
So that's Dad. And then on this list, we'll skip down to Joel. We played Five Guard this week, which is the 5v5 version of High Guard. And I wrote Joel here because we somehow suckered him back into playing it, which is how he ended up almost dying.
I want to say again, I was on drugs for the last 6 days.
He was making bad choices. Don't do drugs, kids. When High Guard announced that they were closing on March 12th, which is later this week, I jokingly said to the secret Discord, I said, Matt, you have 9 days to get the platinum trophy in High Guard before they shut it down. And I should have known what the fuck I was doing, because I said this to the man who made sure that he grinded out the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League platinum trophy when they announced that was going away. He just spent a lot of time getting the Anthem platinum trophy when they announced that was going away. And I made this joke, and that man is trying to get the platinum trophy in High Guard. And so he's been playing that. He did not play that game, did not enjoy, did not play, did not care about that game at all until I said that sentence.
They didn't care.
Then suddenly he's like, fuck.
He didn't care what High Guard was until it took the mask off. You know what I mean? That's the type shit that Matt's
Yep.
on.
Yep.
The thing that makes me mad about this is Matt literally has not gamed with us in months. And
Yep.
this is his return. Is like, all right, I'm down to game. I moved. I got my whole entertainment center set up and stuff. You know, I'm ready to game. And then Chad sends this diabolical bombshell of a text. And now we're never going to see Matt again because he's just going to go away with Five Guard.
Yep. So yeah, he and Matt, he and Dallas were grinding this out for a couple of nights, and then Dallas and Joel and I were playing Arc Raiders, and then Matt finally got on and started playing High Guard, and Dallas was like, oh shit, I gotta go play with Matt. And we were like, do you? Do you have to play High Guard? And then he's like, well, you should come play with us. And I was like, I'll play if Joel plays. And then Joel was on drugs and made bad decisions.
No, to be fair, maybe High Guard is what almost killed me. Because that's what we were playing.
That's what it was. Yep.
When the Wendy's joke was made and I almost died. So High Guard almost killed me.
It's true.
And I was going to say something else, but I can't remember now. Whatever. It wasn't important,
Game's
I guess.
fine. 5v5 didn't make it any better. It's fine. It's going away in 4 days, so.
So you got a couple days left, yeah. That's it.
Yep.
Oh,
then we got on here.
Sorry, the other thing I was going to bring up is that Matt texted us today that he has to delete and reinstall the game every few trophies he gets because they're bugged, and that's the only way he can get them to pop. Isn't that fucking
this
wild?
Was after,
that's how much
after
dedication.
2 days ago, he texted us and said, y'all, the trophies in High Guard are bugged. I'm done. They were bugged. He's done. He couldn't get any more trophies.
That's the proper response, by the way.
Fast forward a day later, and he sends us a screenshot of one of the most difficult trophies to get. And he's like, I fucking got it. And I was like, yeah, right, you were fucking done. You weren't done at all. And then, it turns out he has to delete and reinstall the game every few matches.
So when they announced they're canceling the game, did they announce that they're refunding everybody who bought anything in it?
They are not.
No way. That is insane. Because
is why, and they also didn't do the thing that most games do. We're like, all right, we're going end of life. Yeah, unlock everything. No, if you want other cosmetics, you're still going to go buy that shit in there.
To be fair, it's a really bad look if they don't refund anybody and then unlock everything for everybody else for the last 2 weeks, right? So that's an even worse look. It's still a bad look, but that's an even worse look.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to have gone in there and downloaded a bunch of stuff just to see what did they think was the coolest thing to see in this game that was behind a $50 paywall or whatever it was.
Yep.
We'll never know.
And then we've got Jerica on here. Jerica, we finally welcomed her into the Church of Arc Raiders. She has she's working on reviewing Marathon, and she wanted to have knowledge of Arc Raiders to compare it to. And she'd played once with her podcast co-hosts when it first came out. They didn't know what they were doing. They played a few matches, but Dallas and I shepherded her through several matches, and she's hooked. We got our girl hooked. Jerica is in. We took her through a couple runs of the dam, looking for dog collars for her chicken. We like made little progressive steps towards introducing her to like interacting with people in the game. We got into one scenario where we were all in Stella Montis, which is like the creepy everyone's on top of you medical research place, and we were getting the whole lobby together, shooting at some shredders. It was a great time. And then there was, just like any time in Stella Montis, some rat crew steps up behind us, starts shooting us, and then of course everyone else turns on that crew. We take them out. It was great. Jerica's like, yay, I get to finally experience what this was. She got knocked out, but she didn't die. We picked her back up. And then one of the other team's kind of squad stayed behind us, like, hey, what are y'all doing here? We're like, oh, well, it's her first time in Stella Montis. We're just bringing her through, showing her Stella Montis. And they're like, oh, nice. Which one is she? She was dressed as the old lady. And like, oh, old lady. And they immediately shot her. And then they were just laughing, like, hey, sorry. You can pick her back up. We just, we felt like we had to welcome her to Stella Montis the right way. And we're like, ha ha ha, yeah, nice, funny. We go to start looting. About 30 seconds, they shoot her again. And she goes down. And like, we're sorry. That's it. Last time. And then they shoot her again. We're like, all right, guys, that's it. We're out. And we start running away. And there's one guy who starts following us. Doesn't talk at all. Just like following along with us, running circles around Jerica as we go. And this fucking creep. And then finally, about 2 minutes later, he pulls out his mallet and starts whacking her. And we had to just put him down. So Jerica didn't like fail to extract at all. In fact, her very first round, we got all the way past the 0-minute timer of the dam to extract, and by the time we were actually in the thing extracting, all three of us were downed, and we were just crawling to the button. There was a Rocketeer and a Leaper and like 3 Hornets all just like shooting at us, and we extracted it. It was thrilling. So I'm glad we got her on it. She said the next step, she's like, I'm getting Audrey hooked on this thing. So we're gonna be an ARC family very soon. It's great.
I want to segue this into what I played with Jerica, which was Marathon, which is, it's weird how a game can have so much of like the same DNA, but be very different, right? Like, obviously Marathon's a first person shooter, Arc Raiders is a third person shooter, the mechanics, the engine, everything's different. But in Marathon, nobody wants to be friends. I've played, I don't know, dozens of runs at this point, and we encountered one person who wanted to be friends, and he was just like, hey, I'm not going to shoot you, I'm running by, and he just left. That was it. But everybody else in Marathon I've run by, it's like on site, right? Like, they usually sneakily sneak up on you and then just unload, or you turn a corner and they just shoot you right away. It seems like nobody's really using proximity chat in that game as much. It almost feels like proximity chat, because of the fact that everybody's killing each other like on site, it feels like proximity chat in Marathon is like harmful to you and your team, because they hear you talking and there's no way, at least that I know of, to switch between, like in Arc Raiders, you can switch between your party chat and proximity chat with, by hitting, I think it's down on the D-pad. And in Marathon, as far as I know, there's no way to do that. So it's just always proximity chat when you're talking to your squad. So if you're like, oh shit, there's players, they can fucking hear you say that if they're, within earshot of you. And that's a huge miss, I think, because it's like, what am I going to do? Just stop talking when I see somebody, and then, Audrey or Jerica just go sprinting across the map and get shot. So yeah, it is definitely a very different experience. And I think part of it is because there's not like big enemies. Like there are some of the enemies are hard to kill, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing that's like, oh shit, we should find other people to help us do this thing on the map, because, we would all benefit from killing it and we'd all benefit from the loot or whatever it is, the XP. Yeah, so it's just a very different experience. But I will say, like, graphically, this game is amazing. Like, I think it looks beautiful on my huge OLED. The colors pop like crazy. The gameplay and gunplay, it's fucking Destiny, which has always felt great. They have something special in terms of like the aesthetic and everything of the game. It's hard to see the longevity in this when we have Arc Raiders, right? Like, Arc Raiders is always doing what this wants to do so well. And, like Chad said, I play Arc Raiders, and when I get off, I tell my wife about it, right? Like, I get off and I want to tell somebody about the experience I had in the game. I can't say that that's ever going to happen with Marathon, right? Because it's not a, I don't know how to explain it. I would say Arc Raiders is a PvE VP game, and Marathon is a PvPvE game, where it's PvP first and then kill the enemies after if you can, right? Like, obviously you're trying to kill the enemies, but if you see somebody, you're killing them. They take priority. Whereas in Arc Raiders, it's not always PvE first, right? Or it's not always PvE first. But if you want it to be, and you keep playing and being friendly with people, you're going to get into lobbies with other like-minded people, and you're going to be able to make friends every game you go into, which is what we've been seeing lately because we've been playing really clean games, and like we haven't been shooting people unless they shoot at us first, and that sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know if they just need to fix some sort of matchmaking issues with Marathon or fix the proc chat party chat thing. I mean, this game obviously has like its issues, but overall they like at the core they have something. I just don't know that it's gonna, have me playing it 6 months from now on like a weekly basis. Like right now I'm gonna keep playing it. I'm enjoying what I am of it. There's only 3 or 4 maps right now, I think, which is not a lot. Granted, Arc Raiders only has what, 6? 5, 6? So it's not a lot. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what this game does going forward, because I know that there's rumors that they're going to have some sort of like raid mechanics where like you almost have to, like, people are going to want to load in to do raids, right? And you're going to have to team up with other teams. And that's when the, PvE aspect is going to pop in this game. And then the immediate, after you kill the big bad guy, who's going to fuck who over after we just fought something for 25 minutes to take it down, to take all the loot from everybody else. You know what I mean? But yeah, excited to see what the future of this game looks like. And then aside from that, there was another game that Jerica has been playing that she keeps talking about, and that is Pokemon Pokopia.
Ooh.
I have not played it yet. It's been sold out everywhere. I collect Switch physical, as you can see by this whole row.
Line of red on your bookshelf.
Yeah, the line of red. And I have not been able to find it for like 2 days now. And then I saw Wario64 tweeted, "Hey, Best Buy has this game in stock, and you can have it shipped to you like later in the week." And I clicked on it, and then it was like, "Oh, there's a store that just got them in or something because it was not on their website yesterday. Go pick it up." And I was like, "I'm going to pick this thing up right now." Me and my wife are excited to play this. She loves Animal Crossing. And I love Pokemon, so this is going to be a great, like, family playtime kind of game.
You have 2 Switch 2s? Or
No,
you
we
just
just
play one together?
We just have one, so we'll just split off. Or there is a way to play with a Switch 1. She has a Switch Lite, so there is a way to co-op together, Switch 2 to Switch Lite, via game sharing.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird because you can't play the game on Switch 1, but you can like do co-op Switch 2 to Switch 1, which is weird. Which I think they also did.
Is that just like the cloud server? Is that the only part of it?
I assume. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. I haven't looked into it too much, but I know it's possible. Because that's what Jerica and Audrey were going to do. But instead, Jerica played it so much that Audrey just ordered a Switch to be delivered within 3 hours yesterday so that she could play this game too, which is crazy. But yeah, that's all I've been playing.
Dope.
I got one more in here. I got Victor on here, which is the name of a character in Resident Evil 9 Requiem. I rolled credits on it today, and that game is just, I think it's the best. I think it is the most distilled all the different pieces of Resident Evil games and what makes all those games great and distill it all into one compact, concise, very well-paced experience. And I think it's fantastic. So I highly recommend, if you are a fan of any Resident Evil games, this is a great one to pick up and play. I had a great time with it. Very spooky. I also love, there are multiple possible endings to this game, and I think this is the best that I've ever seen any game do this. But you get to the credits, it says, all right, here's the time it took you to beat the game. Here's your score. Hey, you made this choice to see a different ending. Do you want to go back and see what would have happened if you chose the other thing?
That's
and I was
awesome.
like, oh fuck yeah, I do. And they're like, it's not going to change anything about like whatever you unlocked by choosing this ending will stay unlocked. Don't worry about it. We can just take you right back to that thing so you can make the other choice. I was like, fuck yeah, I don't have to like save hack. I don't have to you don't go back in and start a new game and
yeah, you don't have to go to YouTube and search what are the other endings and figure out which ones you did not see.
Exactly. Yep. It just immediately gives. They're like, we know you're going to want to see the other one, so why don't you just play through it? Here's the prompt to go do it. So I think that was awesome, and I think this is a really great. I don't know. If it just feels like the whole series kind of culminates in this game because it has so many callbacks to things. You've got Leon, who's been around since 2, 4, and 6. You've got Grace Ashcroft, who has ties to other parts of the series of games that I didn't play, but there are callbacks and integrations from things from the first game. Like you're in Raccoon City.
Question.
Yeah.
Is the big tittied milk vampire mommy in this?
Big Titty Milk Vampire Mommy is not in this game, Lady Dimitrescu.
What the hell's it all been for then, you know?
But there are some other monsters that have some titties that you might be interested in.
Spiders?
So there is a spider.
With titties?
I didn't look at the bottom of the spider, but there are ass titties on it that you have to shoot. Yeah.
What, never mind. I don't think it'd be ass titties, it'd just be ass cheeks, wouldn't it?
No. If you think about titties as like orbs of goo, whereas ass cheeks are like muscle. There are lots of orbs of goo that you have to shoot in this game, whether it's on somebody's face, ass, armpits, lots of places. So,
fair enough.
Yeah, great game, fantastic game. I think it's going to be a Game of the Year contender. I don't know. I don't feel the same way about it that I did like Expedition last year, where I played Expedition around this same time last year, and I was like, fucking nothing's going to beat this game for me. This is by far a Game of the Year. But I do think so far this has been my Game of the Year that I've played. I think it's going to be in the conversation. I think it's going to be nominated in that final 6. But there are a lot of months left in the year. This is a great game.
Chad, we have breaking news.
Ooh.
I'm going to share my screen with you. Hold on. I'm going to figure it out, I promise. Let me click this. You ready? It literally only benefits Chad and 3 other people.
It's true.
Mario
It's
Tennis
out.
and
It's
Mario
finally
Clash are coming to the Virtual Boy on Nintendo Switch Online.
And then they said, play through the first 3 worlds of Wario Land on Virtual Boy on the Nintendo Switch headset thing too, and I will not play that particular setup and that particular piece of hardware again.
Ever again.
I forgot this man owned a Virtual Boy. All right, as far as me, again, I've been busy moving for people who don't know. So I've been pretty busy with that. The one thing that I did play, I think we need to go back in time. Here's the problem. I need to go back in time for multiple reasons. But I also need to go back in time to last year and then convince people to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. No, not Back to the Future, Joel. You're close. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, a game that came out last year.
Oh my God, look at that third thumbnail. Look at the look how terrible.
Yeah, that Back to the Future Telltale game looks like
Telltale game.
Absolute ass. But no, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a game that came out last year. It was in a lot of Game of the Year talk. People were highly into it. It was on Luna, Amazon Luna for free. And I was like, I'm going to want to play that game, but I don't want to fucking play it on Luna, so I'm good on that. It did just get added to Game Pass. And I played like the first 3 or 4 hours. I'm like, oh, I get why people were into this game. It is a fucking super serious like life sim RPG where you're just some dude in the medieval times, man. I literally was like, it's like dig a grave for this guy that you killed because you really shouldn't be killing this guy. And like, it's also like, what is it like? I know Chad won't like this comparison because he hates good video games, but if you think of,
it's true, that's documented.
Yeah, if you think of the production value and like the acting and the realism and everything that Red Dead Redemption 2 did for the Wild West, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is basically Red Dead Redemption 2, but in the 14th century Bohemia or whatever.
Which
and
is like, exactly why Dallas loves this game too. Dallas is playing the shit out of this.
Let me tell you, Dallas got good taste.
I completely forgot. I did play this game when I was on drugs after my surgery. I played
there you
like
go.
4 or
lot
5
of bad
hours
choices.
of this game.
Yeah.
And I loved what I played. And I completely forgot. And I'm glad you brought it up because I'm going to go right back to it.
I know, right? I wish we had played this last year because it definitely would have gotten on the list if I'd actually played through this game. Absolutely.
I tend to get very lost in games like this where it's just like it's way too big and there's way too much to do. And I assume that's what this game is going to be. So I assume at some point I'm going to drop off. But what I'm playing so far, like, it's interesting, right? There's like some sort of story here. I'm not 100% sure where it's going quite yet, but it is definitely very interesting and like a really cool timepiece of a game to feel like you're role playing way back when.
How are these men getting those faded haircuts with the tools that they have available to them in that time?
Scissors, baby. Scissors. Slow and steady.
They literally explained it at the beginning of the game.
I'll never learn. I'll never find out.
If you give me a pair of scissors, I'd give you a fade right now. Let me do it. But yeah, no, Joel. Yeah, everyone was right. That game is good. So sucks for game of the year last year, but very good game. All right, moving on to our quest log. We got one more story that I think was pretty interesting. PlayStation PC strategy is changing up. It's from Chris Scullion at VGC. Sony's strategy of releasing its single-player PS5 games on PC will soon be stopping, according to a new report. Bloomberg, citing people familiar with Sony's plans, says the company is pulling back from its plans to release its upcoming games on PC, with future single-player games set to become PlayStation 5 exclusive once again. The report claims that while Ghost of Tsushima eventually got a PC port, its sequel Ghost of Yotei won't be coming to PC after plans for a port were scrapped in recent weeks. The report claims that multiplayer games such as Marathon and Marvel Tokon will remain multi-platform. Obviously, you need a large player base, so it'd be stupid to cut off your nose to spite your face. It also states that Death Stranding 2 and Kena Scars of Cosmora, two games that are published by PlayStation but developed by third-party studios, will still be getting PC releases. Bloomberg sources claims that these plans could change in the future, as the industry does, but the current stance is that upcoming single-player PlayStation games don't have a future on PC. So, again, another company talking about their future plans and what they want to do. So the single-player stuff, for the moment, sounds like will not be coming to PC anymore.
They caught wind that Xbox is making a PC.
Maybe, because let me tell you, I was definitely going to play God of War on my Xbox if you gave me the chance, so I would do it just for the lulz. But, I mean, it's a good strategy. I mean, you sell a lot of consoles. You want to drive people to play your consoles. I get it. I think it's stupid because you just make more money by selling more copies. I think you would want that, but maybe they weigh the cost of porting it compared to how many sales, compared to how many people they think would just buy it on PlayStation 5. Maybe they've run the math or whatever. But all of this to say is that Nix is in big trouble.
How long,
baby?
I give it 2 weeks until we see a news story saying Nixie's is closed and shuttered and all those people are laid off.
Or like they diffused into another studio or something.
10 people are going to move over to another studio and everyone else is dead. We're killing them. They're not fired, they're dead. Yeah. Which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, I guess do whatever you want.
I mean, PlayStation they've stuck to their guns the whole time of like, PlayStation is a box. We have exclusive things and we are continuing to make boxes for people to put under their televisions, and it has worked for them. And they are continuing to be successful, even though their layoff numbers would tell you otherwise, and their plans for all of these live service games are slowly eating them from the inside. But that strategy seems to still work for them. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense for them, but it just like, fucking, why not? Why not make a little bit more money by going to PC? I think they're just different enough audiences that I don't think it's going to cannibalize anything.
Oh, yeah. No, there is not a hardcore PC gamer who's like, oh, I can't play Ghost of Yotei. I guess I'll go spend $600 for PC. They're like, I guess I won't play Ghost of fucking, or I'll wait for someone to crack it and then I'll just play it on PC anyways.
Part of it, too, though, is that like these huge mega companies, if they're not profiting, X% on top of whatever they're spending to port something, they're not going to do it. It just, to them, to us, yeah, it's going to be like, okay, they made, 10, I don't know, $100 million in profit by porting it over. But what we're not seeing is like, oh, that's only, 10% profit on top of what they had to pay to actually port the thing over, and to them, they won't do anything unless it's like 40 or 50% profit.
Yeah. They're like 1 million copies sold. We needed 2 million. Fuck you. We're not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
That's 10% more profit that they didn't have before without any damage to their brand or company.
But that's how we're looking at it. But these mega companies don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah, it's all about that. But I mean, you see with the layoffs, it's like this number needs to be met. You didn't do the number, fuck off.
Oh my god! Did you see? Speaking of the layoffs, did you see? I think it was PlayStation UK. It was one of the PlayStation Twitter accounts. Like the day that they laid off Bluepoint, one of them tweeted, "Hey, what PlayStation first-party games would you like us to remaster next?" And they were like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You just laid off the remaster studio, and now you're asking, what do you want us to remaster?"
Well, Nix's does remaster. Oh, wait. They might be going to. But here's the thing. That person who did that tweet, same person who did 19 Inches of Venom. So shout out to that guy for all the... Because that was a PlayStation UK tweet, wasn't it? I believe. I don't know. I might be remembering that. But anyways.
Whatever. Yeah. Whoever it was, you're brilliant.
Yeah, smart. All right, moving on to Chad. I do have one.
Oh, you do? A segment from Adam is now. A segment from Adam. And Adam is gonna give a segment from Adam. And listen to Adam as he segments a segment on the show. The segment's from Adam. It's all his fault. There you go.
Nice. Thank you for that Friends opening theme song. I know that's not that. One Tree Hill. So what we're going to play this week is a little fun game based on the games that you guys have played this week. We talked about it earlier, and I've got some things that relate to what you've played. So we're going to play How Long to Beat the Quiz game.
Ooh.
We're going to go one at a time just to keep it easier. The idea of this game is that people write down on how long to beat, the stats about how long it takes to beat a game. You guys are giving me guesses. I tell you if you're close or not, and then you're trying to get as close as you can to gain points. So, Chad, I will let you go first. You talked all about Resident Evil Requiem. You're like, this is a cool game, one of the best games of the year. Awesome, cool. I'm like, well, Chad, clearly... he loves Resident Evil Requiem. Is that because Requiem is in the title? So your How Long to Beat for the week is Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem. Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem is your game that you're going to be doing this week. I need, and I'm going to round up if it's halves, just so heads up. Main story, main plus sides, completionist, and user rating on howlongtobeat.com. So give me your first guesses, and then we'll... And by the way, it's not Eternal Darkness 1, it's Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem. Was there 2 of these games, or is it all the same game? I don't remember.
I want the record to show. In my brain, I'm looking up gameplay just to see what this game is. So I'm not trying to see like. It
was a weird game that would like mess with you, or like it would put up a fake volume thing on your TV to make you think the TV was muted, so you get close and do a loud sound. It was a weird like, oh, you're going crazy in the video game.
I was in my brain. I was thinking about the game Darkness, where you were a guy with like black tentacles and like dual pistols. Yeah. Okay.
Let me do a search. Sanity's Requiem. No, it's the same game. It's just the subtitle. It's a GameCube horror game, basically. So yeah, Chad, what are you guessing for me?
GameCube horror game. I'm gonna say horror games tend to be on the shorter side, like 10 to 15 hours. But it's also on the GameCube, which I feel like was like a generation that things just overstayed their welcome a little bit. So I'm gonna say main story was 18 hours. Main plus sides. I mean, traditional Resident Evil stuff does have like a fair amount of side content, but actually, no, there's not like a lot of side quests. It's more of like little things for completionists, like collecting all the safes and all that kind of shit. So I'm gonna say 21 hours for main plus sides, and then 26 for completionist, and a user score of 77.
Okay, let me switch over. By the way, I'm just reading. Obviously, Chad, don't look it up. I knew that Eternal Darkness was a weird like GameCube game that messed with your mind, and when you're quote unquote going crazy, it's like, oh, your that has been. It would fuck with like the person playing the game. But reading what this like the gameplay story and like Featuring 12 playable characters throughout history, including a Roman centurion and a priest during the period of the Inquisition. What is this video game?
What?
Good Lord. We look it up. But anyways, so I'm looking at your things. You had main at 18, main plus sides at 21, completion is 26, user score 77. So your main story is within 5. Your main plus sides is within 5. Yep, that's how math works. Your completionist is within 5, and your user score is within 5. Very good round for you, Chad. All right.
Part of me wants to just say, stick with what I got. Mm-hmm. Because I don't want to like move away from it.
Yeah. Could move closer as well. You don't know what 5 means. Is it 5 exactly? Is it on the dot? You don't know. Up, down, all around, you know?
I'm going to take everything down by 1. We're going 17 for the main, 20 for main plus sides, 25 for completionist, 76 for user score.
Okay, the official rankings on howloudtobeat.com for Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. Main story, 13 hours.
Ooh, okay, so I'm glad I went down. Okay.
Puts you within... That's 6 points because you're 4 away, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Main plus sides is 15 and a half, rounded up to 16. So 16 hours for main plus sides.
Another 6 points. All right.
All right. Completionist, 29 and a half hours, rounded up to 30. So 30.
Ooh. Okay.
Puts exactly so 5 away. Points. So 5 points. And then user score is an 80.
All right, another 6 points. Okay.
Another 6 points. So a total of 12, 23 points out of a possible 40. Pretty good round, pretty good round. All right. That is Chad's final score for Eternal Darkness. Joel, earlier you talked about marathon. And I would say it's not a marathon. It's a Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 Grand Prix. Not a marathon, it's a race. I found a game with a race in the title, but Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 Grand Prix is your video game. I need you to tell me the information on howlongtobeat.com.
Sorry, what are the categories? Main
story, main plus sides, completionist, and user score.
Main story, I'm going 6 hours. Main plus sides, I'm going to go 12 hours. Completionist, 22 hours. And user score, what's the name of the game?
It is Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 Grand Prix.
What console?
I think this is on everything. And this is actually a relatively newer game. It's on Switch, PC, PS4, Xbox One. Came out in 2020.
I'm going to guess 74 user score.
Okay. Your main... have you not typed any of this down?
No, absolutely not.
You should do that. I need you to do that, Joel, because I do not remember what you said. Just put them in a row. Do you remember? I guess you just give me another guess.
I said 6.
Yeah. 12.
18, 22.
22.
And then 74.
And 74. Okay, cool. As far as the main story, you are within 5. Main plus sides, you are within 5. Completionist, you're within 5. And rating is within 10.
All right.
So what do you want to move around
here? I'm going to keep everything, and I'm going to change my rating to 68. No, 66. No.
Okay.
82. No, I don't know. I don't know. What do I want to change it to? What's the name of the game?
Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 Grand Prix.
And it's on Switch, so it's kind of newer. I can't imagine it reviewed well. I'm going to say 66.
Okay. Joel, according to howlongtobeat.com, the main story is 3 hours. That puts you within 3, so 7 points for that one. Mm-hmm. Main plus sides, is 6.5 rounded up to 7, which puts you exactly 5 away on that one because you guessed 12 and it's 7.
Yep.
Completionist.
Not 22.
No. Completionist is exactly 22 hours.
Let's go.
And user score, it's a 6-7. Baby, it's a 67, which puts you at 9 points being one away. I'm pretty sure based on those getting it head on, I think you end
Before
up
you reveal the user score, he was 1 point behind me. Like, he could have beefed it there and screwed up everything.
When he said 82 for user score, I'm like, oof, he's about to lose it for himself right here. But he stuck with the lower score. Joel got a total of 31 out of 40. Joel, congratulations. You know that it is better to run a marathon and it's not a Nickelodeon Kart Racer 2 Grand Prix better than Chad knows about Requiem being in the subtitle. Congratulations.
I've been saying that for years and nobody's been listening, so
I don't think you've ever said it. But anyways, there you go.
Awesome. Well, that brings us to Game On Game Show, the Game On Game Show. We play a game called Game On, the gaming show on our game show. Game. Folks, we have a game we have not played since last summer. And the game is called Guess What Happened This Week, where we take a look at games or events in gaming history that have happened this week in previous years. I have here 7 things. They actually are all video games that have released. So 7 video games that have released at various points over the course of the week of March 9th in the past. And so I'll just give you I'll give you the year that it happened, as well as like a 1-sentence-ish like clue. And then the first person who says the name of the game correctly gets a point. And the second person who says it correctly doesn't get a point. And that's how it goes. And you keep track of your own points because I don't care about the totals. And so we'll start with March 9th, which is today as we're recording this right now. March 9th, 1996, exactly 30 years ago today. Here's your description. For the first time, you can play as Bowser alongside other Mario characters, new and old, as you take on Smithy and his band of troublemakers.
1996?
1996.
I think that's Super Nintendo. You play as Bowser. I don't know who fuck Smithy is. I'll be honest with you. I don't know any of this. I was 5 years old. It's not Super Mario RPG, is it?
It is Super Mario RPG, released 30 years ago in Japan on
30 years ago to the day, baby.
Yep. Congratulations, Adam. You have 1 point.
Who's Smithy?
Smithy is the big giant. Well, he's actually not giant until he transforms at the end. But yeah, he's the guy who's creating all of the robots and monsters that are terrorizing the world.
So he's making them like a smith would. Like blacksmith.
Yes, he's smithing them. Yeah, he actually has he has a hammer. He has a hammer that he's like actually making these.
In Greek mythology, we call him Hephaestus.
That's true. That's true. Congratulations. We have another one here. Same day, March 9th, 2006. So that's 20 years ago now? Yes, 20 years ago.
20 years ago. Mm-hmm.
For the first time, you can play as Solid Snake in this Nintendo-developed romp.
Is it Twin Snakes?
It is not Twin Snakes.
Nintendo-developed romp. Nintendo?
For the first time, you can play Solid Snake.
Yeah, was it Brawl? Super Smash Brothers Brawl?
It is Super Smash Brothers Brawl, released for the Wii in 2006. That is correct.
Nailed it.
All right, 2010. So we're now at 16 years ago. Fans of this divisive Square Enix title would eventually see its protagonist as the face of Louis Vuitton's 2016 Spring-Summer fashion campaign.
Well, wait a minute. You said divisive?
Mm-hmm.
And then he was the face of Louis Vuitton?
I said no pronouns.
Okay. What did you say exactly?
Its protagonist. Fans of the divisive Square Enix title would eventually see its protagonist as the face of Louis Vuitton's
Devil May Cry
2016. It is not Devil May Cry 5.
Is it
Devil May Cry
2016?
It is not Devil May Cry 6.
Is it Lightning Returns?
It is not Lightning Returns.
It is Final Fantasy 13.
Final Fantasy 15.
It is Final Fantasy 13.
Okay,
Final Fantasy
13,
13, yes, released on PS3 and 360 16 years ago.
I know there were a whole thing where like she's going to be a model.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember
and she
that.
was. She was.
For Louis Vuitton.
She was the who's the AI bitch who's now like an actress or whatever that they're trying to make happen?
Yeah,
She's the original one of those now.
She's the original one of those. Yeah.
Yep. All right, switching dates, March 11th. So the date that this episode comes out, Wednesday, rewind to 1995, 31 years ago. Like Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar, this classic RPG takes you on a trip through time for love.
Chrono
Time
Trigger?
Splitters.
It is Chrono Trigger.
I love Time
Trigger's
Splitters,
correct.
Joel, though. I'm not mad at it.
Released in 1995 in Japan on March 11th. All right, in 2014 is the date on this one. Apex Legends is the reason this franchise no longer exists.
Titanfall 2.
Titanfall 2.
It is Titanfall.
Titanfall.
I'll give it to Joel. He said
It
Titanfall
is Titanfall.
first.
It is Titanfall, yes. Titanfall first released 12 years ago in 2014 on PC and Xbox. 2015, the year later, on March 11th, this is the first major Xbox Game Studios game to be released on a competitor's console.
What year?
2015 is the year the game
2015.
came out, not necessarily the year it came to a competitor's console.
Yeah. A Microsoft game from 2015, an Xbox One game that came.
This is the
Read the-
first major Xbox Game Studios game to be
Game
released on a
Studios.
competitor's
Forza Horizon
console.
4. Forza Horizon
That is
3.
incorrect. That is
Fuck.
incorrect.
No, is a 2015 game that came elsewhere. I'm trying to think. Would it?
Killer
It's not-
Instinct.
This is not Killer Instinct.
Is it Recore?
It is not Recore.
What is a 2015 Xbox game? That's what I'm trying to think of. Because Xbox Studio specifically that went elsewhere. Now, is it Xbox Game Studios published or Xbox Game Studios developed?
Developed.
Okay, so it wouldn't be like a Cuphead or Ori or whatever.
Right.
2015 Xbox. What's going on? That's
Let me just double check on that real quick.
yeah. Joel, what was an Xbox game from 2015? It was right out. It was the year after Titanfall, so still early-ish.
Okay, I lied. It's Xbox published.
Okay. Well, I said Ori and I said Cuphead.
You did say both of those.
Neither one of those is
Things.
correct.
Well, you said
Ori and the Blind Forest.
is Ori and the Blind Forest is the correct answer. Yes. Ori and the Blind Forest, 11 years ago.
I'll give it to you, Joel, just for being nice.
Yeah, that is.
Oh,
that
yeah,
is,
you'll give it to me because I fucking said it.
We both said it at the same time.
Gemini AI Overview told me it was an Xbox Game Studios game. So,
I get they technically published it, so I suppose so. Yeah.
all right, the last one. I don't know who's in the lead, but somebody has the opportunity to redeem themselves. 2020, March 11th, 2020.
Anthem.
The world shuts down for 2 weeks.
Is it Anthem?
This is one of the best Metroidvania games ever released, and the sequel to the first major Xbox Game Studios game to be released on a competitor's console.
Ori and the
Ori and the
Will-O-Wisp.
Will-O-Wisps.
Ori and the Will of the Wisp is correct. That goes to Adam. Yeah, they both released on the same exact date.
That's crazy. I did not,
March
I did not
11th.
remember the same day. That's cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ori.
That's it. Adam wins, and while he's not the best gamer, because that will be decided at the end of the year,
Discounts
I guess
towards
is pretty
that.
good today.
Yeah.
That is it for Game on Game Show. That is it for episode 425 of Respawning Fire. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Reminder, you've got some homework to do. And from what your teachers tell me, you haven't been turning in your homework. So make sure that you play Tunic alongside us this month. That is the Little Fox game inspired by Zelda. So go play Tunic wherever you would like to play it. I have been seeing recently it's on sale on like a bunch of platforms right now. So if you haven't bought it, now is a good time to buy it. If you would like to play it, write in your thoughts, or if you would like to be on the show and discuss your thoughts live with us, do that too. So while you're playing Tunic, you also have the opportunity to go and listen to us do talking over another game or another form of media. So we're going to do some talking over another form of media in the next week-ish, and we'll release that exclusively for patrons during the month of March. And then if you're not a patron, everyone just got access to whatever the fuck we did last month. What did we do? Oh, it was a After Dark where we talked about what happened to Joel. Yeah, so you can understand now why Joel almost died for the second time in 2 months. First time being the cause of the thing. The second time being laughing. Who knows what it might have been. So go find out why Joel almost died last time. And that's all she wrote. Oh, and also when you're a patron over at patreon.com/respawningfire for $1, you get the ability to influence what we play for Barf each month. That's our backlog accomplishment with the Respawn and Friends game. And so towards the end of the month, you'll have another poll up to vote on. That's how we landed on Tunic. So you'll go vote there and let us know what you want us to play for the month of Abril, which is Spanish for April showers. And that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, here's our usual sign off. Caracas, Venezuela, Bogota, Colombia, Quito, Ecuador, La Paz, Bolivia, Montevideo, Uruguay. That's it. We'll stop there.